You know, have you ever looked back at the end of a relationship, not with regret, but with this strange, quiet sense of relief? We're always taught that endings are failures, but some are just patterns, right? Patterns we really need to understand. Okay, let's dive into this, because what if that ending wasn't a mistake at all? This feeling right here, this sudden ability to just breathe freely again, it's one of the most powerful signs you can get. That quiet that settles in your mind, that's not emptiness. No way. That's the first real moment of peace you've had after a long, long time in survival mode. It's your body, your nervous system, finally getting a word in, telling you what it couldn't while you were so deep in the chaos. So let's just reframe this whole experience for a minute. What if every confusing argument, every closed door, every single painful moment was actually a form of protection? Like the universe redirecting you back to yourself. That's the journey we're going to explore right now. First up, let's talk about the entanglement itself. We've got to look at that psychological fog that just completely defines these relationships, where your own inner world feels like it's constantly being stirred up. Does this sound familiar at all? This constant, low-grade tension? It becomes so normal, you actually start to mistake it for love or maybe passion. You lose yourself, like piece by piece, just trying to manage their moods, trying to decode their manipulations and keep the peace. You often don't even realize the toll it's taking until it's finally over. And here is the absolute most crucial point. The anxiety you felt, it was a symptom of being entangled with someone who literally thrives on your confusion. It was never, ever a reflection of your worth or your ability to love. It was just a natural reaction to a completely unsustainable environment. So, how does this entanglement even begin to unravel? Well, it starts with an awakening, where you start to notice these subtle signs that are guiding you, pulling you toward clarity. These four signs, they often show up when you're being protected from a dynamic that's just draining your soul. You feel peace when they're gone, not panic. You find that no matter how hard you try, the relationship just won't work. Doors just keep closing. Then the confusion clears, and you suddenly start craving what's real over what just feels comfortable. Okay, now that the fog is lifting, you can start to see the manipulation for what it really was. And understanding this playbook is absolutely essential because it depersonalizes the attacks and reveals these predictable, cynical patterns of control. This is a master tactic. It's not genuine weakness. It's a calculated move designed to pull you in and completely disarm your gut instincts. They make you feel responsible for their pain so you can never, ever hold them responsible for their actions. See the strategy here? It's not an outright lie, but it's a very selective disclosure of information. Just when you're about to call them out on something, bam, they present a wound, making you feel cruel and awful for even questioning them. And just like that, the conversation is successfully derailed. Triangulation is all about control. By bringing in someone else, an ex, a friend, even a stranger, the narcissist creates this psychological contest that you never, ever agreed to be in. It's designed to keep you off balance and constantly fighting for their approval. And this is how subtle it can be. It's not a direct accusation, it's an insinuation. It's a little seed planted to make you doubt your own value, which then causes you to overextend yourself just to prove you're worthy. It's exhausting. This is maybe their most powerful defense. Accountability is like poison to a narcissist, so they master the art of flipping the script. It doesn't matter what they do, the narrative always ends with them as the one who's been wronged. And there it is, the pivot in action. Your legitimate concern about their behavior is completely reframed as an attack on them. So you come into the conversation seeking some kind of resolution, and you leave feeling guilty, as if you were the one who caused all the harm in the first place. But once you see the playbook, everything changes. Your sensitivity, the very thing that made you a target, is now transformed. It becomes your superpower. And this, my friends, is the great turning point for the empath. Now, what's really fascinating here is the shift from just passively absorbing everything to making an active choice. The narcissist needs chaos to operate, but the awakened empath, they just refuse to participate. They don't fight chaos with more chaos, they meet it with clarity, with silence, and with observation. You have to understand, the narcissist feeds on reaction. Any reaction will do. So when you offer them silence, you starve their ego. And when you offer indifference, you communicate that they no longer have any power over your emotional state. You're not playing their game anymore. You've left the theater. And this brings us to the final and honestly, the most empowering stage. This isn't just about surviving. This is about rebuilding your entire identity from a place of wisdom and strength. It is a return to you. You no longer have to explain or defend or justify yourself. Your refusal to engage in the drama speaks so much louder than any arguments ever could. You stop looking for validation from anyone who actually benefits from your self-doubt. You finally realize your value is inherent. It's not up for debate, period. And here is the final declaration. Your empathy, now guided by wisdom, lets you see the red flags from a mile away and protect your peace. You've graduated from their school of chaos.
So ultimately, remember this. The entire experience wasn't a rejection of who you are. No, it was a redirection toward who you are meant to become. The pain carved out a space for wisdom. The chaos taught you the real value of peace. Now, with this clarity, the future is yours to define.